Do you ever tell yourself, new year, new me, with your list of 10 extreme resolutions and have one day, 1 week, or at most 1 month of actually committing to those goals before bouncing back to your former self? Same. But now I have tips for actually achieving your goals. In the past, I would create a list of resolutions, and for some reason, I would always fail. And looking back, I could see that there were two issues: the resolutions themselves, or the goals themselves, and my perspective, or how I achieved those goals. So let's start with the first and reevaluate your resolutions. Rather than thinking of your goals as a destination you have to reach, think of your goals as a GPS or direction for who you want to become. That said, set a yearly intention or overall goal for this year. So what is it that you want to focus on? Last year, mine was balance, and so a lot of my goals revolved around that, but I ultimately prioritized rest and recovery. It was more like sleep for 8 hours a day rather than waking up at 6 a.m. every day. This year, my intention is growth because I feel like I'm at a place where I am more settled, more grounded, and ready to grow. A yearly intention helps you prioritize what you want to achieve, adds cohesiveness to your goals, and in doing so, you pick a few goals that are really important to you. So the key here is to keep it short and sweet because you want to set realistic and achievable goals. Be honest with yourself. It is not realistic to set a goal of wake up at 5 a.m. every day, work out for 2 hours, and eat only leafy greens if you are starting from zero. Let's say if you're already waking up at 6 a.m. and working out for 1 hour and you wanted to make it a little bit more, then sure, go ahead, by all means. However, it's not really realistic for you to tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna try to achieve this really impossible goal, because then you'll be intimidated by your goal. The point here is to set yourself up for success and build on what you already have. You can dream big, but start small so it feels possible. And if you're like, oh, well, I want to be that person who is like a morning person, but maybe you're not a morning person, well, then start slowly, because I made the former mistake of being like, oh yeah, I want to wake up at 6 a.m. every day, with knowing full well that I normally wake up at 10 a.m. So my goal would slowly go from like, okay, wake up at 9:30, and then wake up at 9:15, and then wake up at 9, and then slowly, as it becomes more possible to wake up earlier, then maybe do the 6 a.m. So just keep it realistic for yourself. Additionally, set goals that are within your control. While it is nice to have a goal of like get into XYZ school or have a job at XYZ company, I don't think those are healthy or realistic or controllable goals, because ultimately you achieving that goal is not within your control. It is that school or company giving you that position, because you could do everything in your power to increase your chances of achieving it, but then like ultimately that's not within your control. So don't do that to yourself. This is another example of setting yourself for failure, and we don't want to do that. Although it can be helpful for people to have like dream companies or dream schools or dream whatever's, just so they have something in mind, or like something that they want to achieve, or like an incentive to actually work on their goals, but I would not focus on that. Lastly, I recommend setting goals that are habits rather than goals themselves. So this is another thing about the whole goals being a journey rather than a destination, because ultimately a lot of times people want to transform themselves into like a new being or like a better person, which is why they set goals. But then when you want to achieve it, in order to actually do it, you are working on habits rather than goals. Rowena does a really good job explaining this, so I'm gonna link her video and be sure to watch that. Next, visualize why you want to achieve those goals and how you're going to do it. Most likely it's because they help you become the person that you want to be, and if this is the case, then visualize yourself becoming that person or being that person. Imagine yourself living out the days where you're accomplishing and achieving the goal. So for example, if my goal is to meditate every single day, then I visualize myself, when am I going to meditate in my day? Where am I sitting? Like, how am I feeling? How am I going to implement that into my daily life? And this is really important because it segues into take your goals and break them into even smaller goals. For example, with the thing about meditating, ask yourself like, what time are you meditating? How long are you meditating? How are you meditating? Are you using an app to meditate? Are you using like, I don't know, a YouTube video? How are you going to like implement that into your routine and answering those questions will make it more achievable and realistic for you to do your goals. Again, by starting small and going big. In the case of meditating, I would recommend, if you start from 0, to start meditating for, I don't know, 3 minutes, which is super doable and realistic. Most of us have like 3 minutes to spare in our days to dedicate some time for achieving our goals, to maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or however long you want to meditate. Try to make it as easy as possible to do your goals. So for example, in the case of like meditating for 1 or 3 minutes a day, it's like, yes, I could do it for 1 minute, but then once you say it's like, oh, 10 minutes, then people are more reluctant to get started on their goals just because it seems more intimidating. Make it as easy as possible. Then I would schedule it into your life. So like I asked earlier, like when are you doing this goal that you want to achieve? Depending on the goal, you could either like mentally store it, like, oh, I know after I brush my teeth and wash my face, I'm going to try to meditate for whatever long period. Or if it's like a different goal that is like, for example, let's say you want to start a YouTube channel and like making YouTube videos is super time consuming. And so in that case, sometimes I would schedule it into my calendar, and I actually do schedule it into my calendar. If that is not something that works for you, you don't have to do that, but just mentally note like, oh, if I actually want to do this, realistically, how long is it going to take? When am I actually going to do this? What would that mean for the rest of my life? Or my year. So like, let's say if your goal is to work out every single morning for an hour, then what time am I going to wake up? Or if I wake up at the same time, then what is going to be compensated in order for me to work out? Then maybe I would have less time to get ready or do other things. So you kind of have to like actually think about what it would mean for you to do the goal and then do it. Lastly, this is a small thing, but it could make a huge difference. Maybe have a buddy system or have someone to keep yourself accountable. Check in with your friends, see if they have same or similar goals. Even if not, if they're willing to keep each other accountable and share your goals and see how you guys are with like monthly checkups or weekly checkups or like however you want to do it. If you're both willing to keep each other accountable, then you at least like have somebody to remind you to stay motivated. And with all of that said, let's make our 2023 goals happen. My 2023 goals, I split it up into 4 categories: physical, personal, mental, creative, and work. Of the categories, I picked one goal that I really want to prioritize this year, and if I have the bandwidth, then I would look into the other goals. I mentioned earlier that my intention or my overall theme for the year is growth, and so a lot of my goals are centered around that. For my physical goals, I want to drink water every single day, at least 1 liter. This is super important for me because last year, or I guess I'm filming this in 2022, whatever, I had struggled with dehydration, and so I was fainting over the summer, and it was not a good time. So I really need to drink more water. And then after, I would say, fix my sleep schedule, take vitamins daily, my body daily, and take monthly mental health days. I saw this article in the New York Times about people taking monthly mental health days, and it seemed like super nice. You have 1 day dedicated to your mental health and you do things that are helpful for your mental health, and it sounded really good as like a consistent refresher. So I'm hoping to do that. In terms of fixing my sleep schedule, I'm hoping to go to sleep by 10 p.m. This is going to be super hard, and honestly, I don't think it will be possible. And I would ideally have a night routine. So, it's something that I've been trying to do for many years unsuccessfully, and maybe this year will be the year. I'm going to manifest it and say this: I am sleeping at 10 p.m. consistently. Next, in terms of personal goals, my main goal is to document more. So that means journaling, taking photos, taking videos, maybe more vlogging. And I don't necessarily mean that I have to post it. I just want to document more, because looking back on this year, there were a lot of moments where I wish I had taken more photos or like taken more videos, and so I'm trying to do that. And then I used to blog, and in the past I would have like monthly wrap-ups on my blog, and I kind of missed that, but I don't know if I'll get back into vlogging. On YouTube, there was a period of time where I had like monthly diaries, which were kind of like monthly wrap-ups sort of, but more like in a scrapbooky like visual artistic way, so I might bring that back. Those were fun to make and I really enjoyed making those, so yes. I also want to track my expenses and reduce impulse shopping, and along those lines, when I am shopping, I would like to be more conscious of my shopping, so shopping more sustainably. I feel like I already mostly do this, but every now and then I do like slip up and then purchase from a brand that is not sustainable focused, or not even sustainable focused, but they're just like not sustainably conscious. I am tempted because a lot of times like styles are cute and it would be nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try to shop more sustainably this year. I also want to cook more at home and eat out maximum 2 times a week because I was doing my expenses and I was just like, dang, I eat out a lot. Watch 50 movies and read 50 books. So this past year I read 24 books and my goal was 40. And since my intention is growth, I am trying to expand my horizons and read more. I really do want to get back into reading. I'm sitting next to my bookshelf of many unread books, but also many read books too, okay? Watch 50 movies, I think that is doable, mostly because I'm a film major, and this past year I watched 66 movies, maybe even more. The next category is mental and creative, and my number one mental/creative goal is to survive school, simply because I am a full-time student and ultimately that is my number one priority because I pay way too much in tuition to fail. I think I'll be fine in terms of surviving school. It'll be hard, but I'll do it. I would also like to journal and meditate every single day and enjoy my hobbies and learn where I can. So like this past year I picked up a couple of hobbies and continue doing that, and prioritize rest and balance because in order to grow you also have to rest. My last category is work, and I would love to create and upload weekly YouTube videos, but that is my main goal and we're gonna see how it's gonna work, and I think it will, mostly because I am very confident and motivated right now, but yes, I am doing it. I've organized this all on my Notion, and so in order to make it happen, I like split it up into short-term and long-term goals. So I picked a couple goals that I wanted to do for short-term. For short-term goals, I had create a how-to series on YouTube. So this is the first video of my how-to series, how to achieve your goals. And how I'm gonna make it happen is to plan and schedule it at least one how-to video per month or every 6 weeks and add it to my calendar. And then I would also like to create and stick to a nighttime routine. This corresponds with my sleeping earlier goal. And how I'm gonna do it is to actually create a nighttime routine, commit to it and see what works, maybe adjust if necessary, and then commit to it for just a month. So I'm gonna tell myself, oh, I'm only gonna do this for a month and then see how I feel, and then hopefully I will actually enjoy it and realize that it makes me happier, and then it will continue. I would also like to take a photo every day of January, mostly because I said I want to document more, so I will be doing that. I'm gonna carry my phone camera everywhere and then also just try to be more conscious of it. My long-term goals are goals that are achieved over the span of longer than 6 months, so maybe over a span of my life. But in terms of my long-term goals, my first is to post more searchable videos. So I'm gonna brainstorm searchable videos, and mostly because yes, it would be nice to reach a larger audience, but also I want to create more unselfish videos. And then drink a liter of water every single day. I need to do this, like I just have to. Exercise 5 times a week. I recently went to a yoga class for the first time in forever, and it made me feel so good. Like I felt like so tired but also energized for the week after, and then I felt like I need to do it more, and I just haven't been exercising as much. Lastly, journal and meditate every single day of 2023. I bought a journal specifically for 2023 just to journal in it, so I'm really committed to this, or I hope I am. Those are all of my goals for the year, and I hope you found it inspiring and helpful, and I am manifesting for us to achieve our dream lives and achieve all of our goals. I believe in us, we can do it. Happy 2023. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!